Dear old work platform, it's not you, it's us. Actually, it is you. Endless onboarding? Constant IT bottlenecks? We've had enough. We need a platform that just gets us. And to be honest, we've met someone new. They're called Monday.com, and it was love at first onboarding. Their beautiful dashboards, their customizable workflows got us floating on a digital cloud 9. So no hard feelings, but we're moving on. Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for Season 17, Episode 4, titled, Bitch, I'm a Drag Queen. My name's Joe Batanz, and I am joined, as always, by one soporific co-host from the podcast Bravo, Bravo, effing Bravo. Please say...
Y'all can all suck my tug.
To Mr. Nathan Patrick Brown. Hello, Nathan.
Hey, put your lighters up. Nathan's in the house. Meow.
You know, I didn't submit my request in time, but I thought it'd be funny if Mr. Blackstone did that iconic comedy sketch. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get it in time for at least the public feed.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and then we'll release it as a special for the afterthoughts. But Nathan, you know, you and I just had a very, very special, it wasn't very special, it was a normal episode of Just Between Us Girls. But we did do a Just Between Us Girls where we, you know, shot the breeze before we recorded the show. And that comes out now. It used to come out after the main recap show, but just the way our schedules work, it actually, the way it should be, comes out the day before. So it comes out on Sundays now. And you can get that on Apple Podcasts. Okay, you can just scroll up where the title of the show is. You'll see subscribe to premium. Then you have patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Pretty soon, once I come up with a price point, you can also just buy the season without subscribing to anything and then listen to it right there on the Patreon app.
Great.
Yeah. So lots of ways to listen to Just Between Us Girls. And look, by the way, we still need your support. And that offer code is still good. It's in the show notes. 30% off your first month of executive tier. Look in the show notes. It's there. It's active. It's ready to go. It helps support Afterthought Media. If you guys knew all the work I do behind the scenes now that I have 2 jobs, you'd be like, okay, we're going to throw some coins this guy's way. And it is worth it. Now, I got to tell you something, Nathan, before we take a break.
We just started.
Well, we always take a break in the beginning.
All right, yeah.
Is because look, it's better than you do these other shows. They do like 4 breaks and no, we'll do it right at the beginning, get it out of the way, and then nothing but show afterwards. Anyway, I want to say right now, for the record, and I mean this, this is not bullshit. This is not, I'm not doing something for the air, anything like that. I am deeply, deeply troubled and offended by the things that Mr. Blackstone says.
Oh, of course. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. I signed a contract, so there's no like morality clause in it. And I've been so busy, I have not listened to what he sent this week. I have them in my soundboard, but I didn't have time to listen. So I don't know what he said this week. But here's what troubles me, Nathan. I have gotten several messages from friends, from afterthoughts, from public feed listeners, overwhelming, a lot of people. And this is really disturbing for my friends. They love Mr. Blackstone. And I'm like, he is deeply offensive. He's like an awful, entitled, white, old gay man that, I don't know if he lives in Palm Springs. I don't know where he lives, but would.
Yeah, but you can love him and not agree with him.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're separating the art from the artist.
Or I wonder, do you think they think it's a bit? Do you think they think it's a bit?
Maybe they think it's a bit.
Yeah, like he's not, like no one could, I just my microphone, that no one could be this awful. You know, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those, my friends, my family, like afterthoughts, the public feed people who love Mr. Blackstone, you need to really take a deep look at yourself because he's probably, and you know what it is, Nathan? I'll tell you what it is. I feel we're always like supporting whiteness.
Ugh, I'm over it.
Could you imagine if a person of color was acting this way? Look, I'll be honest with you. Look, Christian's Mexican. People can't stand him. Right?
Yeah.
But I bet you if he was white, everyone would be like, oh, this queen work. You know? Oh, so wait, Nathan, I want you to be honest. And I want you to be honest. Because this Mr. Blackstone has said horrible things.
Yeah.
No, we don't even know what he said today. You prefer Mr. Blackstone over Christian?
Well, you know what you're going to get with the Mr. Blackstone.
What?
Horrible things, but I'm not on my toes like I am with Christian. Whereas you never know if you're going to get attacked, sideswiped.
Oh, that's right. Because Mr. Blackstone. Oh, well, wait, hold on for a second. Maybe not you, but Mr. Blackstone has repeatedly. He didn't do it last week.
He comes for you. Yeah.
He comes for me quite a bit.
Yeah, you get strays. Not even strays. You get actual direct attacks. Yeah.
Yeah. No. He directly attacks me. Like, and I'm the one writing his. Okay, look, I can't do this anymore. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, afterthoughts are gonna hit the whole show. But look. You're going to get some show too in the public feed. And I think I've been doing a good job curating. So stick around, listen to what we have to say here right after the break.
Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll look at your returns from the last 3 years for any money your last guy might have missed, for free.
I could get money back from last year?
You could. We'll find any mistakes.
Could have really used that 2 years ago when I dated that mistake for 5 months.
Don't leave money on the table. Switch to H&R Block and get a free second look review. Second look is included at no additional cost with the purchase of tax preparation. Results vary. All tax situations are different. Fees apply if you have us file an amended return.
This week, the girls work in teams to create 2 separate compilation albums of music based on iconic moments from the show. In the end, Anya Nerve was named the winner of the challenge, while Joella and Corey King were placed in the bottom 2. After a lip-sync battle for their lives, Corey King was told, Shantae, you stay, while Joella was asked to sashay away. Nathan, what did you think of that lip-sync, and did the right queen sashay away?
Well, look, this Joella, I don't think she was ready for this show. She should have probably died a local girl because I ended up feeling bad for her. She was just so out of place. I mean, yeah, it was fucking hilarious to see her try and lip sync wearing a mattress, but she took too long to take it off. And when she did take it off, what she was wearing underneath wasn't gaggy. So I felt bad for her. I was like, this is what happens when you're underbaked and you come on TV. So yeah, I think the right queen went home. As sad as it is for us who find comedic value out of her. But yeah, the right queen went home, and the lip sync was not good. I mean, it might be iconic. It might be hilarious, but it wasn't good. You know what I mean?
I didn't think about this till right now, and I should find this video and post it on the Discord or something. But there is this horrible TV show from like the 80s. It was a public access show called Stairway to the Stars, I think.
Okay.
It was a public access show. It seemed like out of New Jersey or New York or something, right? One of those places, or Philly, or, one of those like places that have like a weird accent, like, hey, go fuck yourself, like one of those places. And it's a horrible public access show, and these people do horrible things. They're horrible. Every single one. Awful. and it's been fodder for the internet and memes for a long time. Joella's outfit looked like this one chubby girl that looks like a young Lori doing a dance to the horrible Broadway song, They're Playing Our Song. And I'm going to post that video on the Discord. And that's what the outfit looked like. Anyway, the lip sync was horrible. Well, no. You know what? Corey King was okay.
Corey was good, but she's dancing up against a mattress, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it was sort of ridiculous. It was like Joella gave them what they needed because if I'm being honest, well, look, the outfit was terrible, right? I don't know wouldn't be funny if Mr. Blackstone loved it, but like he was like, oh, I think this is great, you know? But it was like, you already knew it would be iconic just to see a mattress dancing around lip syncing.
Yeah, but
She
could have leaned into it, making it more terrible, but I don't know. She sort of walked
and then doing
the
that thing
line.
where she thought like RuPaul would be lip syncing the Snoop Dogg part and like.
See, I think because she was saying in confessional, like throughout the episode, like, "Oh, I love my runway this week. I'm so excited for my runway." So I think she thought she was killing it.
Oh, and no, so she thought she ate. Yeah.
So I think she thought it was reading very funny. So she didn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
she didn't choose differently in the moment to maybe do something else.
Look, I do have an opinion actually on this. I will do in a mild defense of Joella. Because they're like, oh my God, Joella didn't know the lyrics of the Snoop Dogg part. And if I'm being honest, let's think of the logic of the lip sync. Okay, let's just think logic.
Okay.
The logic of the lip sync is you're lip syncing, giving the illusion that you're singing the song. Okay? Mm-hmm. So in the Pussycat Dolls, and typically, not always, but typically they're singing the woman part. They're singing a female sung song. Not all the time, but 99% of the time. It's a female lead vocal. So why would these people who are ostensibly singing the Pussycat Dolls part then think about it? Oh, I just knocked my camera out of the way. Why would they, in the logic of the lip sync, also be playing a black man?
Yeah, and I think maybe there was a queen from like Thailand or something on UK vs. the World, and she like didn't sing the male part like on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's an intentional choice to uphold the logic of the song, that's great. But she was moving her mouth. She just didn't have the words coming out of it.
You're right. I mean, so was Corey, but I mean, maybe, who knows what's going on? And I guess I'm speculating or whatever, but maybe she intentionally didn't learn it because she's like, well, why would I sing the part of Snoop Dogg? I'm a woman.
Then why did she get out there and say watermelon, watermelon, watermelon? You know?
Maybe they told her she had
during it.
I don't know. It was I'm making
You're giving
things
her
up.
too much credit.
I'm giving her too much credit. And then Corey easily won this lip sync. Those were the two notes I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the lip sync? And do I think, look, here's the deal. I know there are people who love Joella. Luke, from our producer and Discord member, was a huge Joella stan and thought she was going to make it all the way. She was going to be in the finale. I didn't think she was. I mean, I thought she was fine. I thought she was cringy and whatever, but she wasn't giving me hormonally. Like, I want Hormona Lisa just for the sheer television of it all, just to go as far as possible. No, I actually thought about this, and I do want to say this right here. Everybody knows this. I'm not saying anything new here. This isn't groundbreaking. But Snatch Game has become the pivot point of when the competition changes. There's everything before Snatch Game and everything after Snatch Game.
Yeah.
And up until Snatch Game, let's see Sanjaya or whoever from American Idol. Remember, did you ever deal with Sanjaya?
No, didn't come across the pond.
Do you know who Sanjaya is?
I've heard you reference Sanjaya a few times.
So in American Idol, this is how funny Americans are. Somehow, this little Indian gay kid made it like to the live shows.
Yeah.
Right? But he was horrible. He was horrible. He couldn't sing, Nathan, right? And America started trolling American Idol and voting him through every fucking week. And I think even Anonymous got involved.
Oh my
and
god.
they were trying
How
to
American to ruin a vote.
Yeah, I know, seriously. And so they were conspiring to vote Sanjaya every week, and American Idol had to step in. It was a whole thing, right? They finally just had to boot Sanjaya. They never released the result, and American Idol in the fine print says they can actually override the public vote. And I think they did but Sanjaya went pretty far, right? So at a certain point, it's funny, right?
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, the competition becomes real. So what I'm saying is, I want Hormona Lisa to at least be on Snatch Game, eliminate her on Snatch Game, and then she's gone. You know?
Yeah. I was just about to say, I don't think she was that bad this week to be in the bottom, but she could have easily been in the bottom after that video clip.
She wasn't. Oh, actually, well, we haven't gotten there yet. But Hormona Lisa, no, she was fine. She was passable. She was deserved her safe win. But I'm just saying, at a certain point, we're going to start shaving people off. And it's going to be readily apparent that Hormona Lisa needs to go home.
Yeah.
Right? And so, it can't be any. I want her to go as far. I want her to make it to Snatch Game. And I want her to be, look, at the very latest, maybe the next episode after Snatch Game. But that's it. She can't go farther than that.
Who do you reckon she's
when I'll
gonna
start to get angry.
Who do you reckon she's going to do in Snatch Game? And would she be any good at it?
Wouldn't it be great if she did Lori? We don't even know who you're talking about.
I'd live.
If she was Lori all of a sudden.
She's going to do Dolly Parton or someone.
Oh, yeah, because her cousin's friend knows Dolly Parton or something. Who else could she do? Who would she realistically, who would Hormona Lisa realistically do?
Maybe the Mona Lisa? Because that's worked before.
Because she'll actually pick somebody really stupid. It's not going to be who we're going to pick.
Yeah.
Oh, who could she be? That would be good. I'm saying that she would be good at it.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know who
what if she was that I don't know what character it is in Inside Out, but the blue one
Sadness.
Yeah. What if she was Sadness?
But they'd have to call her the actress's name, so she'd be Phyllis, whatever.
Yeah.
Was this filmed after the Olympics? I mean, she'd be a good ray gun.
Oh yeah, I think it was from during or right after. I think it's in August, but I don't remember what the Olympics were. She would be a good God. Who would she be good at?
She'd have to do someone Southern.
God, Lori would be really good. Do you think they'll ever let them do Lori?
Yeah, I think Lori would be a great Snatch Game character.
Lori or
pull
Sadness.
things out of your boobs all the time.
Yeah,
clean your
Lori.
ears.
We should do a Snatch Game where we all play each other. So someone plays me, someone plays Lori, someone plays you, Jay.
And every answer is about a bird. Whoever's playing me, yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Every answer is I've never been to New Zealand. We didn't even ask you about New Zealand. All right. Anyway, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we now say goodbye to the public feed? Oh, and you're gonna hear some. Now, don't go away, public feed. I'm gonna curate some of the best moments for you, and you're gonna get them right after this. Any other thoughts after the elimination thing? It was pretty whatever.
It was pretty whatever. Corey keeps referencing her Bostonian booty. Is that a thing?
I've never heard of Boston having a big butt. I don't know anything, but I've never heard that.
Me neither. And I've been to Boston just recently, and I didn't see that many big butts.
People from Boston, it's one of these things where, look, I've said this before. I love the city of Los Angeles, right? I love it.
Yeah.
Right? I love it. Love, love, love it. Big fan of Los Angeles. But I'm willing to admit that New York is the top city in this country. And
she's that girl.
She's that girl, right?
Yeah.
I think LA is that girl too, but in a different way.
She's that girl over there.
Well, New York's I don't want to get into this, but the point I'm trying to make is there are certain cities, and Boston is one of them, where they think everyone's thinking about them all the time. And the truth of the matter is no one's thinking about Boston, ever. No one is ever thinking about Boston.
When I was in Boston for 2 days, everywhere I fucking looked was Paul Revere. As if people actually really care about this. And they're like, oh, there's a statue of Paul Revere. There's Paul Revere Street. There's fucking Paul Revere this. And I'm like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
What, he rang a bell or something? Or he ran on a horse? Like, who gives a fuck?
You know what's this interesting historical thing I love? Is, in American mythology, Paul Revere was riding a horse up and down the road going, the British are coming, the British are coming. And one of the things I've heard historians talk about is that would have made no sense to people then because they would consider themselves British.
Yeah.
They were like, what do you mean?
Do you know what? I did the fucking walking tour of the Freedom Trail and I still can't quite place what exactly happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Something about the ships coming in and he was in the window and he was going to turn a fucking light on or something. I was lost.
Are you doing this like a whole like
this is my Paul Revere bit.
Yeah, this is your whole hunk of Paul Revere stuff. Like, what's the Revere? I don't revere him. Why do they call him Paul Revere? I don't revere. I don't think that great.
Yeah.
He just went around the street shouting. I call that a homeless person. Like it's like Nathan just doing his whole shtick. Anyway, how about the next day when they were gathered around the table? I have here this Hormona Lisa. She runs in, so she's the first one into the workroom. Yeah. And there's a weird thing that they do that I've never seen anyone in any other season do. They all come in a single file line so that they can each have their like moment in front of the camera.
It's sad,
it's
isn't
weird.
it?
Look at it. Yeah, Hormona Lisa runs in. She runs in, right? She's like, I need to be first, okay?
Yeah.
But the rest of them follow her in a single file line. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
That's all your thoughts on that?
Well, it is very bizarre. It's sad. It's thirsty.
It is. Well, but that's why I like Hormona Lisa. I want her to stay till Snatch Game.
Were you just like furious when Ru announced that it would be a challenge based off of Drag Race catchphrases? You're like, no,
I was excited. In fact,
catchphrases.
No, I was like, oh, I wanted it to be like that. I know Robert's going to tell me tomorrow the episode number and season and what happened and who did what and who won this and that. But the one where the girls, I think it's actually early, I think it's like season 5 or something, where they had to recreate iconic Untucked moments, but they were lip syncing to them.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be something like that, but it was not that. And I was fine with it, but it was like, oh, I thought it was going to be something else.
Yeah, I think I'm similar to you. I was fine with it. But I just thought some of the choices of catchphrases or iconic quotes were like less iconic than the others.
Well, the problem is, and this is what this made painfully obvious, is there's a clear distinction in the quality of clips from the first era, which we'll call Volume 1, and the second era, which we'll call Volume 2. Mm-hmm. I personally divide it in, well, you could, I go back and forth, but I would personally yes, this is what I'm going to go with. And Robert, maybe, God, it's really tough for me. There are two lines of demarcation for me in terms of the show. And I can't decide which is which, and they're very close together. And it's somewhere in the range of 3 big pivotal moments, and maybe they all turn the dial a little bit. But Mask Gate, where Valentino doesn't take the mask off.
Mm-hmm.
If we're throwing All-Stars in, Ben quitting, right? Eliminating herself. And then 3 butterflies.
What's her name? I was thinking that. Asia.
Yeah. And what I would say today is that the first phase of the first era of Drag Race, I think today I feel ends with Asia O'Hara and the Butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the official ending of the first era of Drag Race. And I think everything after that is just not as good. And so the quotes just aren't as good.
But like, even before that, like the Mariah quote where she's like, we write the stories. That's from the Untucked where Shangela and Mimi are fighting. And it's like, that's not the iconic quote from that episode. I don't remember we write the stories.
Yeah, but they're not going to
Who
put
the fuck quotes
Shangela's
that?
going to be erased now from the show.
Oh, yeah, you reckon?
Yeah.
Change
So
both people's
maybe it
lives.
probably was originally going to be Shangela, and then they're like, ugh, awkward.
If I got the Mariah quote as a song, I'd be fucking pissed. Whereas someone else has got back rolls. Like, come on.
I would have preferred I saw the tights and they were ripped.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not long enough.
Girl, they turned to fucking Latrice Roy. Wait. We're talking about this. We shouldn't be talking about this right now.
Yes.
Okay, let's
I
go
got
to
some
the
other
workroom.
thoughts.
Yeah.
So, Sam Starr annoyed me this episode. When she gets paired with Inkeisha, she's like, oh no, I'm really worried about having to do a number with her because she's been on the bottom. And it's like, she was on the bottom like that first episode, but since then, she hasn't been that bad. Like, she's been safe.
Could you hold on for a second, Nathan? I got to talk to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that. I just chose not to say anything. Okay, go ahead, Nathan.
Oh, I don't know what I've done wrong. But yeah, so she's annoying me. Okay, Hormona in the Shake and Go.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, do you think it's delusion or is she just being funny or what?
Well, no, maybe I'm going to be the one who's delusional. I'm assuming Hormona Lisa's trans. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's never said she is. You know what she looks like? This is what she looks like someone who's trans and poly. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to be honest about this. I thought it was her real hair. I didn't think it was a wig.
Oh, okay.
So when people, and I have this note here, like, they're like, oh, well, she's wearing a Shake and Go wig. I'm like, she's wearing a wig? I thought it was her natural hair.
Oh,
It
did like thunderclap when you said
the old
that.
man bowling upstairs? Like, is Rip Van Winkle bowling?
It's a Shake and Go.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why I'm saying, like, oh, I'm one of those dummies who fell for it.
Uh-huh.
You know, you were talking about this Sam Starr.
Yeah.
Who does bug the shit out of me, mostly because he looks like that guy that was mean to me at Disneyland 20 some odd years ago. But you know what he does that really bugs me? And it's something that if anybody does this, and I'll probably be alienating a big part of the audience, when there's a T in the middle of a word and they don't say it. So he said, instead of saying button, now I know Americans, especially Californians, say button and they swallow the between the T and the N, right? So who am I to talk, right? So we don't say button, we say, in California at least, button, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he says button. He goes, I have my button. And I was like, girl, not that. And I go, I hate you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, then here's what we're going to do. We are going to bring back my girls. Okay, we are back on the main stage. Crystal Envy, Susie Toot, and Anya Nerve came out on top, while Joella, Arietti, and Corey King were placed in the bottom three. In the end, Anya Nerve was named the winner of the challenge, while Joella and Corey King were forced to face off in a lip-sync battle for their lives. The song, Buttons, by the Pussycat Dolls. After all was said and done, Corey King lived to see another day, while Joella was asked to sashay away. Nathan Patrick Brown, any final thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, this fucking Michelle. Who does she think she is when she calls out Arietti's nose, the white nose? Mm-hmm. And she says, oh, I would never try to change who you are, but I would love to see you give us something that is not that. It's like, what did she think she just said?
There's been discussion about this on Reddit, which is somebody pointed out, and I think this is true, that she particularly says this to people who don't match a very specific type of drag queen. In other words, they're saying that she would never say she would never say she wants to see diversity from like a Courtney Act or a Sam Starr type, like the blonde, feminine illusion, like plastic tiara kind of thing. Mm-hmm. She would never say that to them. But she says it to other people who are trying new things or different things, that she wants to see diversity, which means she wants them to see her very specific type of drag. Any other final thoughts?
I'm sick of when someone's eliminated and they walk up and down with the levers for the dunk tank as if it's like the platinum plunger. It's like we don't need to do the whole dramatic walk up and down, stroke the levers thing. Like, I'm sick of that. And also, it was hilarious to me when Joella pulls the wrong lever and they go, "Aw," with the fakest awe I've ever heard. And yeah, that's all.
There is this Reddit theory. You know about this, about Michelle's hair cap?
No.
So I guess Michelle, in an interview having to do with the season or talking about the badonkadunk, said she was hesitant about doing it because she can't get her weave wet, right? And so they noticed that on the very first episode, her entire head is covered in a hair cap. But in subsequent episodes, when they've pulled the lever, like, her hair is only part, like, you see her hair. So there's this theory, they want to see if this works when it actually works again, if her hair is completely covered in the hair cap so that her hair is protected. They want to see if that theory is true.
So lazy.
Yeah. I would be surprised if they're right. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. So for Nathan Patrick Brown and myself,
if the glove don't fit, you must acquilt.
Thank you for listening to Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. You can also email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ+ content, support us over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This podcast was produced by Luke Stamen. You can follow Nathan Brown over on Instagram at NathanBrown90. Follow Joe Batance on Instagram at Joe Batance. Special thanks to these expensive tier Patreon supporters: April Pacheco, Astute Girl, Brad Coley, Derek Byers, Doofus Maximus, E. Smith, Effie Wop, Emma, Phil Skit Pony, Blind Suki, Humble Pie, J. Thomas Plank, Kathy Zender, Katie Whitmire, Lauren Eckert, Lucy Carrasco, Luke Stamen, Mary S., Mike Yeager, Nikki Baker, Nikki Pettit, Polly, Poppy Woods, Ricardo Herrera, Runner Brandon, Sarah Yu, Tom Bombs, Travi Cosmos, and Troy Anderson. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.